aspirants, I welcome you all on the YouTube channel of ANALYST IAS. Our today's topic for focus of the day's discussion is the trends in the maternal mortality. This is according to the United Nations report. So we will see by news what is maternal mortality ratio, what is maternal mortality rate, what are the highlights of the report, what are the causes of the maternal mortality, what is the status of maternal mortality in India, what are the different government schemes which help to reduce the maternal mortality. Then we will come to our today's prelims and mains practice question as well. So we'll start why in news. According to the United Nations, new report trends in maternal mortality of the estimated 2,87,000 maternal deaths recorded in 2020 alone. 70% of took place in the sub-Saharan Africa. Now, what is maternal mortality ratio? The maternal mortality ratio is death of women per 1 lakh live births. Remember this data, per 1 lakh. And what is maternal mortality rate? The number of maternal deaths in a given period per population of women who are of reproductive age. This is rate and this is ratio. So maternal deaths upon the women of reproductive age. This is the maternal mortality rate. What are the key highlights of the report? Every 2 minutes, a woman dies during pregnancy or childbirth. This is very alarming setback for women's health over the recent years. There were an estimated 2,87,000 maternal deaths worldwide in 2020 alone, which is a slight decrease from 3,09,000 in 2016 when the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals came first. In 2020, about 70% of all the maternal deaths were in the case of sub-Saharan Africa. The top 3 sub-regions in the world with a high or very high maternal mortality rate were found in sub-Saharan Africa, Western Africa at 754, Middle Africa at 539. These certain data are not so important. Now, with approximately 82,000 maternal deaths in 2020, Nigeria accounted for over a quarter of all estimated global maternal deaths in the pandemic year. From 2000 to 2020, declines in the MMR stagnated in sub-Saharan Africa, Northern Africa, Oceania, and Western Asia, and Eastern and Southeastern Asia. With approximately 82,000 maternal deaths in 2020, Nigeria accounted for over a quarter of all the estimated global maternal deaths in the pandemic year. What are the causes of this mortality? Severe bleeding, high blood pressure, pregnancy related infections, complications from unsafe abortions, and underlying conditions can be aggravated by pregnancy, such as HIV, AIDS, and malaria, are the leading causes of maternal deaths. Roughly 1/3 of women do not have even 4 of a recommended 8 antenatal checks or receive essential postnatal care, while some 270 million women lack access to modern family planning methods. What is the status in India? India recorded the second highest number of maternal deaths in 2020, coming second to 24,000 to only Nigeria. However, there has been an overall reduction of 73.5% in MMR in India between 2000 and 2020. Between these 20 years, in 2020, India's MMR stood at 103, a vast improvement from 384 at the turn of the century. In comparison, other developing countries like Argentina 45/20, Bhutan this, Brazil 72, Kyrgyzstan 50, they have performed better than our own country. Now, what is the definition? And this is basically the data of different states. There were very high maternal mortality rates. There were 130 or more maternal deaths per 1 lakh live births in the states of Bihar, Odisha, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, UP, and Assam. There were high mortality and low mortality in the cases of Karnataka and Haryana, and these came in the middle. What are the recommendations of the report? With immediate action, more investments in primary health care and stronger, more resilient health systems, We can save lives. By these, we can save lives, improve health and well-being, and advance the rights and opportunities of women and adolescents. Community-centered primary health care can meet needs of women, children, and adolescents, exercising control over their reproductive health, particularly decisions about if and when to have children and when not to have. This is a critical to ensure that women can plan and space childbearing and protect their child. There should be a gap of 2 to 3 years between two childs. Sustained national and international efforts. It is our collective responsibility to ensure that every mother everywhere survives childbirth so that she and her children can thrive. This is the data of the states. There were very high mortality rates in these regions of Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, UP, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, and here in Assam. Then they were high and low. You can see Karnataka and Haryana were in the low stage. We saw that this in that table as well. Now, what are the initiatives in India for reducing maternal mortality? First is Anemia Mukt Bharat. Anemia Mukt Bharat strategy was launched in 2018 with the objective of reducing anemia prevalence. This is the objective. There are 6 interventions and these include supply of iron and folic supplements, deworming, behavior change communication campaign, testing for anemia, provision for iron and folic fortified foods in the government funded health programs, and addressing of non-nutritional causes of anemia in endemic pockets with special focus on malaria and fluorosis. These are the 6 interventions. Now, what is Surakshit Matravta Ashwasan? This was launched by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare in 2019. It aims to provide assured, dignified and respectful delivery of quality healthcare services at no cost and zero tolerance for denial of services to any women and newborn visiting a public health facility in order to end all preventable maternal and newborn deaths and morbides and provide a positive birthing experience. Then there is Laksh. Laksh is basically for labor room quality improvement initiative. It is an initiative to improve their maternity operation theatres and help augment the quality care in the labor rooms. Then there was Pradhan Mantri Matru Vandan Yojana. This was implemented by the Ministry of Women and Child Development. This came into effect from 1st January 2017. On fulfilling certain conditions and after registering, the beneficiaries would receive 5,000 in 3 installments. Then there is Janani Suraksha Yojana. This is completely sponsored by the Government of India and it comes under the National Health Mission. Then there is Pradhan Mantri Surakshit Matritva Abhiyan. This program was launched with the objective of detecting and treating cases of anemia. Now we will come to our today's prelims practice question, that which scheme aims at preventing the gender discriminations through protection of rejects of girl child protection scheme, Janani scheme, integrated child protection scheme and Anna Amrit Hastam. The answer to this is A, which is the girl child protection scheme. Now we have our main practice question. A focus on improving condition of women in India will also help poverty alleviation. Discuss. This was all about today's topic and video. Stay tuned for the next one. Have a great day.